2 upper to yard 5. I have 4 intoxes, 4 on D side 1st Street.
Inside Ohio prisons, the black market drug trade is stoking violence, chaos, and death. Smugglers toss drugs over fences, drop them by drones, or carry the drugs through the front doors. Dangerous drugs are soaked into paper, cut into confetti-sized hits, and sold inside. State officials have failed to stop it.
Somebody's making these things. They're man-made substances. They're not growing out in the prison yard. I mean, these are something that is made and somehow is finding their way into prison. These chemicals interact with the same receptors in the body that cannabinoids would interact with, and they can cause an individual to have a heart attack, hypertension, can cause kidney issues, can cause psychosis. So they're certainly dangerous and have been proven to cause death.
It was heartbreaking knowing how they found my dad and that there were drugs in his system. Before he went to prison, he was homeless in Zanesville. So while he was in prison, I knew where he was. I knew that, well, what I thought I knew was that he wasn't doing drugs anymore and that he was clean and that he was going to try and get his life together for his kids. You know, passing away due to a drug overdose is something that you don't want to hear about a family member, and it breaks you inside.
I miss talking to my brother. I miss his calls. Even if he wasn't with me, you know, they called me. I was at work. And basically he just said, "Hey, this is the warden at Lebanon." And I'm like, "Yes." He was like, "We're calling in regards to your brother." And I was just thinking maybe he was in some trouble because, you know, maybe he was in a fight or something. I don't know. And then he said, "Well, we found him in his cell unresponsive this morning." So I said, "Well, what hospital is he at? What hospital is he at?" And then he said, "No, he died." And they're not rehabbing. They're not helping anyone. Right. It's a correction system, but there's no rehabilitation taking place. Mm-hmm. How can you be rehabilitating someone and there's drugs everywhere? Everyone is in there. I won't say everyone, but there's a lot of people that are getting high every day in jail. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's worse than being on the street, if you ask me.
We call it tune. That's not really traditional drugs at all that you would find all over the place. It's something that is within the prison already that people are using to get intoxicated.
Tune, or K2, whatever you want to call it, that's in every prison in Ohio. But it depends on what prison you go to, because it can be dry or it can be plentiful, because you've got some prisons is ice, which is crystal meth, or some prisons don't got meth. Some prisons got heroin, some prisons don't got heroin, some prisons got weed. It's just a hit or a miss. So it's just the luck of the draw or whoever gonna bring it in.
Just other than what, you know, people say, oh, it's fentanyl, it's all these other chemical compounds mixed in to make you think that it's K2 or spice. That's what from my understanding, that's what it was originally supposed to be, was K2 or spice. I can't see the antics and behavior that goes on. That's what it is, you know. Guys that actually get high on it, become aggressive and violent towards guys around them that some guys may even be trying to help them, you know what I mean? But they take it as, like they incoherent. They don't know where they at, what they doing. So they end up lashing out at them. And then you have the guys that want it, they can't afford it,
Some of the drugs are things like floor wax that's been scraped up, or when the exterminator comes, people will lay paper down on the product the exterminator spreads and then cut that up and sell it and smoke it. So the staff started saying, okay, we're not letting anybody in until this dries. So then the incarcerated people wet it down and kept doing it. One of the biggest misconceptions, I think, is that we're looking for recognizable drugs as they'd be recognizable in the streets. We're looking a lot of times for paper that's been adulterated. How much do you think this piece of paper is worth? Let's say the average is $6,000, right? An M is enough to get you high. And there's 1,500 M's on a sheet of paper.
It's supply and demand. It's 100% supply and demand. And that, it ebbs and flows. And that can tell you what kind of a job. Obviously in an ideal world, we want that price to be as high as possible, because that means that there's not much making its way through.
Here, it's very cheap. You could get high for a day for $1, But in other, like camp I just come from, Ross, the littlest piece gonna cost you like $25 to $30, So that makes it harder to get, and, circumstances and guys, behavior change trying to get it, And again, the guys that's making the money look at it like, they want to hold on to it more. But I mean, if you can afford it, you can afford it.
I know millionaires in prison, like actual millionaires, who had nothing on the street but came to prison and become rich. So I don't think it's ever gonna stop.
So me personally, I probably made anywhere about 100,000. That was me. And then you think, we paid our drivers roughly about $500 a night. Then the other people that were with me doing it, they made about probably almost the same. I blew it just as fast as I made it. Just as fast as I made it, sometimes even faster. I'd go to the bar and drop $1,000 a night just because I knew tomorrow, hey, I'm making it in 4 hours. I'm gonna make it. I had every pair of Jordans you can have. At one point I bought me and all my kids 18 karat gold Cuban chains. But I saw myself as part of the problem. Like I was literally flooding multiple prisons throughout the state of Ohio with just the worst of drugs, and it kind of sucks, because everybody expects, what you did was cool, what I did was stupid and foolish.
For most of our investigators, what the intelligence is telling us is that it's coming from multiple sources. So you're looking at multiple areas of conveyance. So we're not focusing solely on one method of conveyance as much as being open to what the intelligence is telling us.
Over in this prison, it might be mostly a drone problem. In this prison, it might be something else. It's not always the same exact, so they have to react to the cases that they have. We started saying out, okay, no envelopes with your mail, because under the stamp and the seams were being used to convey drugs. Then we said no cards, like birthday cards and stuff, because they were splitting in between those heavy fibers and putting stuff in. Then we said only 8.5 by 11 paper. Then it was like only blue and black ink. And it just kept moving along to the point where we started copying mail, which was onerous on the correction officers because they had to then deliver all these little pieces of paper. Well, then it moved to the mail processing center, because now we're not receiving paper at all. We can just avoid that problem. And that's kind of how other things evolve too. We start out here and keep moving forward with it. It's like whack-a-mole. When you shut down one lane, another one tries to open up.
The truth of the matter is, a lot of policies and restrictions get implemented on us that for real doesn't even like measure out to what's really going on. I mean, as long as you got staff members that don't appreciate or value they paycheck, it's always going to be drugs in the prison. Always, you know. And for the most part, I mean, you can't stop it. The main problem that no one wants to speak on is staff. Hands down. But, you know, that's a problem in its own, and, you know, conversations that, like I say, no one wants to have or face.
Okay, I am Barbara Devine. I'm an inmate at Northeast Rehabilitation Center, and I'm here for possession and conveyance of drugs as a corrections officer. I was contacted on Facebook. Someone had a cell phone in the prison and contacted me on Facebook. He knew everything about my kids. He knew just everything. And he was like, you know, I can also make sure that things are taken care of for you in here, because there was a issue with an inmate that had been harassing me and bothering me, and he had that person taken care of. And so I owed him. It was like a form of manipulation. I mean, and so I felt like I kind of had to do it anyway. But then the money aspect, that was what really triggered, because I needed the money. I was desperate.
It ain't even just the COs bringing it in. It could be like investigators or Airmark workers. It's coming in from everywhere, not just the COs. Like, this is coming in from everywhere.
Everybody is who they are, okay? We have honorable professionals inside the Department of Corrections, and we have some people that are not. And some of those may be of any classification. Hell, I've been through institutions where wardens have been incarcerated. Once again, it lacks to instill confidence in me in the system when I see those things happen.
If they're guilty, the best outcome is for them to come in the back door and we put a blue uniform on them. That's the best outcome if they're guilty. Really, we should stop thinking about the prison as somewhere other and it's special. I mean, I just went to get my hair done the other day and there was a lady overdosing across the street. So we see it in the community, we see it in our community, which is inside the prison.
Come to realize that you can't stop. If a person want to get high, you're not going to be able to stop it. As long as there's free access to it, they're going to do it.
I know that there are drugs in the prisons, but it's worse than being on the street. It's worse than being home. It's so accessible in there.
I always imagined my dad walking me down the aisle when I got married.
I always thought that I was like, man, the crime I did didn't have no victims. I didn't have no victims. I didn't hurt nobody. I didn't do anything. But now, you know, coming to prison and seeing all that, it's like, man, I actually do have victims. Because I'm trying to get clean. I want to live a better life. And now here I was part of the problem, putting drugs in a place that's supposed to rehabilitate people, that's supposed to help people get off it.
If we look at it, we've been fighting the war on drugs since what, Ronald Reagan in the 80s? And we never won. We continue to make progress. We continue to try to build a better mousetrap. But at the end of the day, neither inside or outside the prison can we say we've won.